a hair transplant surgeon.
Kutana naye Daktari Ndindi ambaye ni mtaalamu wa upandikizaji wa nywele nchini.
It was strange in many ways because the training I had done was using Caucasian hair.
Ndindi anatueleza zaidi kuhusu upandikizaji nywele.
Actually, to say hair transplant, many times when people think of transplant, they think of like kidney transplant where you're getting tissue from somebody else to another person. But really for hair transplant, you're getting hair from one part of somebody's own body to another. Usually from one part of the scalp where there is hair to a part that is balding.
Anatueleza sababu za kuatika nywele almaarufu hair transplant.
There's something in medicine, we call it reconstruction, you know. So if, for example, somebody has had burns of the scalp and they've lost hair on the scalp, then we can be able to get hair from one part and transplant it to that part so that you are kind of giving them a look that is aesthetically appealing. But also for cosmetics, you know, for cosmetic surgery. So people, maybe somebody just losing hair because they have got a genetic form of hair loss. They're not happy with how their scalp is looking, and so we can still be able to get hair, maybe to restore their hairline.
Kulingana naye, kuna aina mbili za upandikizaji nywele.
There are different types of hair transplant. Hair transplant really has gone through an evolution. The first people to do it were the Japanese a long time ago after the Second World War, and the techniques that they were using were, if you can use the word, crude, because they were really at the beginning, the evolution of hair transplant. So they would get plugs of hair and plant them, and they did not really have a natural aesthetic look to it. But the method that is now used was described by an Australian doctor. He was called Dr. Wood, and we call it follicular unit extraction. So it's a method where we get individual units or individual follicles from the donor area and transplant them to the recipient site.
Je, upandikizaji nywele unaweza kuwa na madhara yoyote?
So when it comes to the side effects, one of the things that is good about hair transplant, you're not getting tissue from somebody else. So you're getting the follicles from somebody's own body, just moving them from one place to the other. So you don't have any of the untoward effects like what you have when you've transplanted the kidney or liver, where somebody has to be on anti-rejection medications for life, essentially. So for hair transplant, we don't have any of those. The issues are usually really short-term. So somebody, for example, might have a bit of itchiness on the scalp. Somebody might have some headache immediately after the procedure. But once the inflammation settles down, you're really good to go.
Daktari Ndindi anatueleza jinsi ambavyo Wakenya wamepokea hatua hii ya upandikizaji nywele pamoja na sababu ambazo zinasababisha kukatika kwa maoteo ya nywele.
At the beginning, a lot of people are skeptical. Does it work? You know, will the results last? Things like those. But over time, we've noticed more and more people are coming through. More and more people are believing that yes, this is something that can actually work. If somebody has uncontrolled diabetes, then they cannot get the hair transplant done because then that affects the healing. If somebody is severely anemic, that is the blood levels are very low, they cannot have this procedure done because after the procedure, then the healing or nutrition to the follicle is interfered with. People with hypertension that again is not controlled, we cannot do the procedure because that high blood pressure can cause a lot of oozing when the procedure is being done. The other conditions are autoimmune diseases. These are diseases where the body is, quote in quotes, fighting itself.
Hapa anatuonyesha jinsi ambavyo upandikizaji wa nywele ufanyiwa. Ungana nami katika kipindi cha pili tuone jinsi ambavyo nywele hii ya kupandikizwa hukua. Na kama ilivyo kwa afya na ujana, Watu wengi hudharau sana nywele zao hasa zinapoanza kukatika, lakini kufikia sasa watu wameanza kutafuta suluhu ya upandakazi wa nywele zao. Nikiripotia Mwanga wa Ebru, jina langu ni Njeri Njogu.